working underground was interesting, and I almost died once.
Really?
Yeah,
What happened?
which was pretty crazy, which I'd kind of forgotten about, to be honest,
Yeah.
until
Welcome back to the Mighty Mum podcast. I'm Tegan, your host. Big thank you to our sponsors today, Talent Mining and Minerals, and also Friggy for making this podcast happen. Today, I have an amazing guest, Kristie. Kristie is a non-executive director of 5 companies and has had 25 years in the mining industry. She's also a mum of 4 children and 3 stepchildren. And honestly, I don't know how you do it. So thank you so much for joining me today.
all good. Good to be here, Tegan.
You know, I'm struggling with 2 kids. I can't imagine how it is to juggle all of those different things. You're a superwoman.
Yeah, well, you just do what you got to do.
Amazing. So you're a Queensland girl.
I
Tell
am.
us, where did you grow up and what was your upbringing like?
So I grew up on the Sunshine Coast, lucky enough to be
Nice.
born and bred there. So I spent my high school years there, and I went to boarding school for year 11 and 12 at Ipswich, because there weren't that many great schools at the Sunshine Coast, and I was doing well, but my folks asked if I wanted to go, and I said yes. But growing up, actually, I didn't realise it till later. I was quite lucky. My parents had their own business that they started from scratch, a wholesale fruit tree nursery that they literally bought seeds and grew plants from nothing. And so as a kid, I had the luxury, well, I think it's a luxury now, of spending time with my dad in the operational side and spending time with my mum in the office, like going to the bank and stapling things. And so it was actually quite an interesting upbringing.
Yeah.
And I've got a younger brother and a younger sister. My brother's in the mining sector and my sister is in the health sector. Yeah.
Amazing. Oh, that's so good. And then after school, you went into uni, studied mining engineering. How was
Yeah.
that experience?
So, well, after school, because back in the 90s when I finished school, it was different in that a lot of the degrees at uni, you had to have prerequisites of science and maths. So because I've got a bit of a computer head, I did biology, chemistry, physics, hard maths, stupid hard maths, and,
my
and,
gosh.
and English, and got quite a good score. And so then I literally got out the book of all the different professions, because this is pre-internet as well.
Yeah, wow.
And I went, no, 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 no. And I got down to accounting, optometry, nutrition, engineering and teaching as things that I would like to do. And then I looked at it and I thought, I'm going to do engineering because it's hard.
Yeah.
And you're an engineer at the end of it, even though I didn't really know what one was at the time. And then first year, so this was I finished school in 91, and then 92, studied engineering back when the contact hours were crazy, and that was in Brisbane.
Yeah.
And then the first year was a common year, and I looked at all the different options, electrical, mechanical, environmental, space, all different mining, metallurgy, materials. And I thought, mining looks cool. And also because I'd grown up on property, I guess I had a feel for the land
Yeah.
and liked science. And physics was my favourite science, so I chose mining engineering. And it was good, but my first vocation work, when I was in the Pilbara in 1993, pre-internet, it was so boring.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
And
it was so boring.
so what did you have to do? So you flew all the way over here?
Yeah, so
And-
back then you had to get vocation work, you had to write letters because there was no internet, there was
Oh
no
my
email.
gosh. Yeah.
So you'd write letters out there and saying, and so they really liked my letter because I wrote Dear Madam /Sir instead of Dear Sir/Madam.
Yeah.
And so I flew to the Pilbara. I was in the Pilbara for 12 weeks straight. We worked 6 days a week, so Monday to Saturday, and we had Sundays off.
Yeah.
And so you just do nothing on Sunday. But it was some of the things I had to do pre-internet was sitting on the hill with a notepad, a stopwatch and a pen, timing trucks. Because there was no data data collection was humans.
Yeah.
And so I would sit there for hours going, truck goes up the hill, stop, write down the time, truck turns around. So that was early data collection. Then you go put it into your spreadsheet. and it was just so boring.
And you're like,
And,
what am I doing studying this?
What am I doing studying this? But I finished, and
Yeah.
then end of third year, I spent time in an underground mine in Queensland for 12 weeks as well, 8 weeks underground, 4 weeks design. And I finished it.
Yeah.
Because I thought, engineering is a great degree. We also learnt about many other different things when we studied engineering back then. We did a lot of the financial side, the environmental side. It wasn't just pure mining. So, but yeah, I did finish with honours. So.
With honours, so good.
Yeah.
I love that. And we talked about it before, but I only had just found out that when you study engineering, there's engineering games. So what do they do in the engineering games?
Yeah, so they have international and local engineering games. So across different universities, we'll battle it out in the game. So I was in the university games in 1993 and 1994. I think maybe it was 94, 95. And yeah, so you do these sort of activities in teams of 5. I can't remember, but one year my team and we won, and because my mates were really muscly.
Yeah.
We did no training and beat everybody. They were really annoyed. But the games are a combination of intelligence-based tasks and also physical tasks. And I think it's the same now, but I'm not exactly sure because this is like 30 years ago basically that we were in them. But they do still have them today. And so some of the physical ones were like loading dirt into an old cart and moving it. Other was drilling into a rock with a handheld drill. Another was like measuring stuff and chopping wood. And yeah, but the games still go on today, but some of the younger uni people would be able to tell you what they do now. It's probably similar.
Yeah, so interesting.
Yeah.
I love games. At uni, how many girls were studying engineering at that time?
Well, interestingly, the stats are probably similar now to percentages. There's just there's more people studying engineering, I think, overall. I probably should have had a look at the stats before I came here. Like in my mining class, there were 30 of us and there were 3 girls. But going to the University of Queensland where I went to, that at the time had 25,000 students, it wasn't really a problem.
Yeah.
And I've never really minded about that. I just do what I feel I need to do. It's not about that as such.
Yeah.
And then one of those girls is still working in the mining sector and one's actually in Tasmania. I think she works for the government.
Oh, amazing.
But in the metallurgical side, there were only 8 metallurgists and I think 3 of them were female.
Oh, cool.
So that was we finished 30 years ago this year, so 95.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
So good. And then you've done so much throughout that time. So after uni, what was your first job?
So after uni, it was a choice basically. So studying in Queensland, obviously Queensland has a lot of coal. It also has underground hard rock. And then WA has more hard rock. It doesn't have a lot of coal. It's got a little bit, but not much. So basically after uni, you'd go 2 directions. You'd pretty much go coal or hard rock. Coal, you got paid more. But I decided to go to Mount Isa because I wanted to get my underground time because I knew if I didn't do it early, I'd never do it. That was my theory. And some of my mates were like, well, what are you doing? You're only getting paid 32 grand. I'm getting 50 grand. And I was like, well, so what? I want to do the hard yards now. So I spent 1996, my first year out of uni, in working underground at X41 Underground Copper in Mount Isa that actually shut, I think, 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
Glencore owns it now and they closed it, which is a shame. So that was good because when you're an engineer designing things, you need to know what you're designing and how it works in practical terms. So if you make a plan, how does that actually work? And I did see some super interesting things where engineers thought they were designing things and underground that wasn't happening.
Yeah.
Because of arrogant engineers. I can tell many stories, arrogant engineers coming down and going, you've got to do it this way. And the operator's going, no, we don't. We can do it that way. And then the engineer's saying, you must do it this way. Engineer goes away, they do it how they want. Engineer thinking, I'm like, what is going on here? This place is nuts. Because that's not how I operate. I operate more in a collaborative way.
Yeah.
And, let's work together. And obviously they're the ones doing it, so you would think no.
Yeah.
But working underground was interesting and I almost died once.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened?
Which was pretty crazy, which I'd kind of forgotten about, to be honest, until there was a mining conference on a couple of months ago,
It
and
was Future of Mining.
Future of Mining
Yeah.
and Miners, exactly. And
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many mining conferences, but Miners Promise were doing a piece.
Yeah.
And then I met the CEO of Miners Promise and the exec director of Miners Promise I know already. And then I said, well, I must start underground. I hadn't really thought about it for many, many years.
Yeah.
But what we were doing, we were like scaling the back. So you hit the roof with a long pole to get all the loose bits off, and then someone else comes through and you put mesh on and you bolt it on so it's all safe. And it was time for lunch, and so we said, oh, let's walk out and be picked up for lunch from the decline, which is the spirally, you got spirals going like this and then drives going off like that.
Yeah.
And so we said, let's walk out to the decline to be picked up for lunch. We'd walked probably 30 metres, heard a massive bang, and the rock from the side of the drive had gone out, rock burst, and covered everywhere that we were. And I was 21 and I was with two 30-year-old guys and they were freaking out.
Oh, my gosh.
And I was pretty chilled about it, actually.
I've got chills.
I just said to them, I felt like the mama bear. I was like, it's okay. It's not
Yeah.
our time to die. We're
Yeah.
still here. Because we
Wow.
couldn't. And then that part of the mine was closed. There was too much seismic activity.
Oh, crazy. So is that what kind of had caused it to come down?
Yeah, there was
That
just because
activity?
things have progressed a lot since then too, 30 years ago. So
Yeah.
now in terms of sensing rock and making sure you know the quality of the rock because you can't always see it.
Yeah.
So if there's certain activity and you can pick it up from seismic monitoring, that it can indicate that the ground isn't as stable as it should be. So it was just a freak event. And I used to keep journals and I went back, I think last month. I thought, I wonder what I put in my diary.
Yeah.
And all I said was almost died at work today. That's all I said.
Wow.
So I think I kind of tried to block it out.
Yeah, exactly. And back then, did they do like as much kind of health and safety as they did back then and do a big investigation?
It was quite different. So when I worked in the Pilbara, 1993, high vis didn't really exist. Well, it did, but it was khaki, crocodile hunter coloured clothing with a reflective strip and shorts. It was quite different. And, in 1994, working at health and safety was literally checking that the car had oil and air in the tyres. That was kind of, it was quite different.
Yeah.
Not saying that it was non-existent. It would be like, put your safety glasses on if a boss drives past. Type of, so in terms of investigation, I'm not sure what they did.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I actually don't know.
But so interesting just to reflect that you've had that moment and think about, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And so then after that experience and it being in the underground, what was your next moves from there?
So I spent 2 years at Mount Isa, so a year underground and then a year doing design work and ventilation and production and development scheduling and reconciliation of tons and things like that. And then I met my future husband. We're divorced. We've been together 19 years, but we then decided we were going to move back to WA.
Oh, nice.
So I went to WA, did FIFO at Plutonic Gold for 3 months on contract.
Cool. Yeah.
They wanted me to stay, but the plan was to go to Kalgoorlie. So then we moved to Kalgoorlie. Then I worked in open cut gold, which was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so doing a lot of feasibility work back when the gold price was $290 an ounce.
Oh my gosh, that would have been crazy.
$290 an ounce.
Was it so? Obviously, you mentioned you're only getting 33 grand in coal.
Yeah, by then I think I was getting 40
Oh,
or 45.
Yeah,
I think
45
back
over
in
here.
1998.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I think maybe it was 50. It wasn't much anyway.
Yeah.
Wasn't much.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
And then, what was the big differences that you probably would have seen coming from underground there to then coming into the gold fields and working in open cut?
Well, I mean, they're obviously very different because open cut is easier, I would say. Well, it is. There's a whole host. There's less parameters that you have to worry about.
Yeah.
And you can see it, but you just have a great big hole in the ground that you need to rehabilitate. So the rehabilitation side's greater because you're disturbing ground. And then a lot of the mines do end up going underground anyway. It just depends on how you can economically extract it from the earth. Because iron ore and coal are different.
Yeah.
They're easy to dig up, not that expensive to process. there's barely any processing. It's a bit of washing or a bit of blending.
Yes.
But and gold's fairly straightforward from a processing perspective as well. But really it comes down to the economics.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of the gold mines do end up going underground. Yeah, once it becomes uneconomic, because the deeper you go with an open pit, the more you need to move from the top. And so there comes a point where it flips over.
Yeah. Oh, so interesting.
Yeah.
How long did you spend in Kalgoorlie? Did you live residentially there?
Yes. So I was there for 2 years.
Yeah.
And then my ex-husband, well, husband-to-be, now ex-husband, he got a job with BHP in Townsville.
Oh, wow.
So he went to Townsville for a year, then Perth for a year, then Canada for a year, and then
my
Brisbane
gosh.
for a bit, and then back to Perth, then Jakarta, then Perth, he was with BHP.
Oh, what was he doing for BHP back then?
Hydrometallurgist
Oh, interesting.
in the nickel side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just, did you have kids by that time?
No, we didn't. So when we moved, I said to him, right, we'll just move with your career, because it was a bit difficult for me to. So when we lived in Townsville, I worked in real estate sales
Oh, nice.
as something a bit different.
Yeah, something different. Have
which
a career
was
break.
quite enjoyable, but it was also good because, learn about contracts, negotiation, pricing,
Yeah.
So I guess I could have just done nothing, but everywhere we went, I thought, right, I need to do something. What will I do? So I
Yeah.
did a bunch of different things, which at the time was a bit random, but is actually beneficial now.
Yeah, yeah.
And then when we came from Townsville back to Perth, I worked in mining software sales and training, so helping engineers or training engineers how to use a program called SERPAC, which is mine design software, and helping out on the help desk when people would call up and have a problem. So I did different things along the way.
That's so good. Yeah, you're very driven. Always very driven, it seems. Yeah. And then so now you're non-executive director for multiple companies. How did that journey kind of flip for you?
So interestingly, throughout my childhood, my father was involved a lot with boards. So he was, chair of the Australian Nursery Association and used to do other things. And when I was at university, I was treasurer of the Engineering Society and treasurer of the Australian Institute of Mining and Metallurgy, like student chapter. And so I've done that along the way. And so I like helping, so for me personally, I don't really care about being the boss.
Yeah.
But I like the team to succeed. And probably comes from my childhood as well. Like when I used to play penance tennis when I was a teen, I much preferred doubles.
Yes.
Singles, I'm like, I'm bored here. Like, where's my mate to play with? So that's kind of so over the years, it's been something that I've done a lot of. So when my kids were in primary school, I was the P&C president, and all I really did was enable people to actually get along. So when someone would whinge in your ear, you'd say, don't worry about it, let's just focus, let's just figure out what we need to do here.
Yeah.
And
to get this disco going.
and to, if we're fundraising, don't worry about the Lamington Drive. Let's do the Lapathon where you make thousands of dollars for like no effort.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think whatever. Yeah, so for me, I've had that's been something that I've been involved with along the way. I just enjoy it, and I think when you're on boards, so now being on boards, I know I can explain sort of how that came to be.
Yeah,
but it's not about you. So I think a lot of people when they get onto boards, whether it be school boards or membership-based organisations or listed entities or non-for-profits or whatever it may be, the director is there for the benefit of all stakeholders.
Yeah.
So if you're a listed entity, it's all the shareholders. If you're a member-based organisation, it's the members. It's actually not about you. And I think a lot of people miss that point.
Yeah.
They're thinking, what can I get out of it for me? And I've seen it, and I've been with people in certain groups that's their mindset because they don't understand that it's not about them, it's about the people that you're serving.
Yeah.
So, along the way, I've had a lot of board involvement or committey involvement. So 2006, 2007 was on the WA Mining Club Committee. Started their LinkedIn page actually in
cool.
07.
They just got 30,000
I
people.
know.
Awesome.
It's pretty crazy, but
Yeah.
because LinkedIn only came in 2007, maybe 06, but definitely 07. So I was on the Mining Club Committee then, and then had another stint into 2014 to 2018, and then, as I mentioned, was on the P&C of my kids' school, and then I was on the board for a while, and I joined the board of Wesley College. I was on the board of Wesley College for 6 years, and then it sort of just So I have done a lot of board and committee work over time, and then it transitioned to ASX listed entity type work, which was also somewhat of a natural progression. It's sort of, see, a lot of people ask me now, even they say, I want to do board work, I'm ready now. But my advice is just going straight into it is tricky because it's a different network, it's a different mindset. It's doable, but a lot of people think they can just stop their executive career and flip to boards.
Yeah.
Whereas in my opinion, you need to do it concurrently together.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of effort outside your day job, if you like. So the Wesley College board meetings are always of an evening.
Yeah.
We'd have multiple. We'd then have committee meetings. But a lot of it is outside your own time. And if people want to do that sort of thing, then people need to put their effort in.
Yeah, yeah.
It does come more easily to some, but typically not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love a committee. I've always been on different committees as well.
Yeah.
But so, okay, as a non-executive director, what does that actually mean in terms of your day-to-day work that you
So
do?
if I can give an example, so let's think of maybe BHP or maybe Qantas, so let's talk Qantas because people are familiar with who was the leader before, the little guy.
Yes.
That's probably not the right thing to say, but Alan Joyce.
Alan Joyce,
and above Alan Joyce sat a board.
Yes, yeah.
And so the board's ultimately responsible for hiring, firing that CEO and holding that CEO to account for how they run the organisation.
Wow.
But yeah, so CEO or managing director, same thing. The only thing is a managing director sits on the board as well. A CEO does not sit on the board, but the function of the CEO MD is essentially the same. Apart from that board sort of, and then above the CEO or MD is a board of directors, and so they're are supposed to be majority independent. So they bring independent views in terms of what happens day to day. It depends.
Yeah.
So every company is different size, doing different things involved, but fundamentally it's the board's job to make sure that everything's going well. So when you have board meetings, you're looking at everything from performance of individuals to who's doing the audit this year, the financials.
Yes.
But you have to make sure that the money's spent in the right way and isn't being, there's no fraud, there's nothing dodgy going on.
Yeah.
So another important thing is to work with good people because not everyone is like that, and I'm ethical. That's one of my values, that I've always done the right thing because that's just how I operate.
Yeah.
But yeah, day to day, it literally can be. It's not what the way I like to describe it is. It's not full time, but it's 24/7.
Yes. Yeah. Because like if there was a crisis meeting or something, would you have to dial in and they report to you in those types of meetings?
Yeah, that's right. But typically, a good board will have, say, 8 to 10 to 12 board meetings a year that are sort of structured. And then it depends what you're doing. Like one of the companies I'm with, a small company called Corazon, we bought a gold project 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Awesome.
Time flies. So, and so we had to make a lot of decisions from a board perspective around that. So we'd be having calls or meetings so it just depends on what's going on. But if you've got a well-functioning sort of business with nothing odd happening, although something odd always occurs, you have regular meetings and you're checking on all sorts of things. making sure funding-wise, spending-wise, auditing of that, looking at, what tech do we need. It just depends. But non-exec directors are not in the business. They're above the business and they're advising and helping.
That's so awesome. And so you do it for 5 businesses, 4 businesses ASX listed. Are they all mining companies?
Pretty much. 2 of them I've been involved with before they listed on the ASX. So that was interesting too, going through what they call the IPO process, raising funds, listing. So one is Brazilian Rare Earths, which has a large project exploration or multiple in Brazil.
Wow.
And I went to Brazil last July, which was good because the board's actually spread across the globe.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because I think sometimes West Australians or people in WA and Australia, we forget there's a big, massive globe out there.
Yeah.
It's like WA. Yeah, WA's great and Perth's great, but there's more to it than just here.
Yeah.
It's so with that company, we've got a director in France, a director in Brazil, the chair of the board's in Sydney, the company secretary, he's in Melbourne. We've got a finance guy in Brisbane. And then the MD was in London, now he's in Brazil. So we literally are everywhere. So we all went to site last July because there's nothing like seeing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was cool.
So cool. I would love to go to Brazil.
Yeah.
Like the culture seems so lovely and happy and upbeat.
Well, I didn't actually spend any time there apart from go to site and then turn around and come back. I think it was 6 days.
Oh my gosh.
Took 40 hours to get there.
Oh gosh.
Didn't have time on that occasion to stay any longer, but next time hopefully will.
Yeah.
But that's, I mean, rare earths are essential. I mean, minerals are. That's why mining's so important. So Brazilian rare earths, which is rare earths in Brazil, on the board of Corazon, which I mentioned just before, which we bought a gold project a couple of weeks ago. And we've also got a large nickel asset in Canada, but no one cares about nickel right now. And then a copper exploration project in New South Wales.
Oh, awesome.
And then Lithium Limited, which used to be called Lithium Australia, and that's its primary business is recycling lithium batteries.
Oh, that's so good.
Which happens in Melbourne.
Yeah.
So we take batteries from many different sources, including a lot of the car manufacturers, and we take them, we munch them, we turn it into this stuff called mixed metal dust, which has lithium, copper, and some other, and we send it to South Korea and they further process it.
Wow.
Yeah, but there's not many places in the world that actually do that. We're doing it here
That's
in Melbourne.
awesome. Yeah.
So I was over there about 3 or 4 weeks ago to have a look. I've been there a couple of times now because I've been on that board for almost 5 years. And you wouldn't believe that like the Tesla car batteries, the original ones, are just a bunch of cells stuck together that sit under the car.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And the power walls are a bunch of cells just all stuck together.
Oh,
It's
my
not like a
gosh.
massive battery. It's all these little cells, and some of them now are using pouches rather than cells. But it's fascinating to see how the batteries of the car batteries for EVs are changing.
Yeah, wow.
But the reality is that someone needs to recycle. Well, we don't have to recycle them, but if we don't, we're wasting a lot of material.
Exactly.
So that's that company. It does the battery recycling. They also have an LFP cathode powder pilot plant in Brisbane, which is a specific thing that goes into lithium batteries. And they've got lithium processing technology to increase recoveries from 60% to 90%.
Oh
so that
my
business
gosh.
is pretty cool.
Yeah, so interesting.
And then the other one is called Tasmea that listed
I've seen Tasmea
yeah, okay.
around. Yeah.
Yeah. So they listed April last year. They own about 25 subsidiary, maybe 26 businesses across Australia, mainly mining services. They own Tasman Power and things like that.
I think
in
Tasman
WA.
Power. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
So they do really great work, and they're very much founded on culture and helping and sorting out issues that people have and being there when they're needed. And then the other company is Minex CRC, which is a collaborative research centre.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
What type of research do they look into?
That's all around exploration, drilling technology.
Yeah.
So because what's happening globally is that we've found a lot of the minerals that are easy to find. We found a lot of those. I mean, there's still many areas that haven't been explored, but a lot of the deposits are now deeper.
Yes.
And so we need to find more efficient ways of finding the deeper stuff.
Mm.
And so the CRC, which is a for-purpose business, it's interesting. Something that you'll probably see too is that non-for-profits are now being called for-purpose. There's a shift.
Mm.
So that's something that will pop up more. The
Yeah.
NFP language is probably going to dwindle away a bit.
FP.
But Minex CRC, it's money from government, money from industry to progress these exploration technology projects.
Yeah, I was going to say lots of tech projects. Yeah.
So they're trying to develop at the moment, which is in prototype phase and doing quite well, a downhole tool that can assay in the hole rather than having to pull out core.
Wow.
You still need to drill a hole of sorts, or you could re-assay old drill holes, and there's a bunch of other projects that they're developing as well. So that's interesting, and you know, the large players, Rio Tinto, Fortescue, Newmont, a lot of those, BHP have put money in to try and progress these projects for the benefit of industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So interesting. And oh my God, your day must be so varied and crazy, but you must continuously be learning. Like everything is just, evolving.
Well, that's it. It's I like reading, and I like as a kid, I'd always be grabbing the encyclopedias that we had on the bookshelf, right? And trying to learn. I don't know. I just like knowing things.
Yeah.
And the internet is so good because, I mean, you have to validate what you read, but there's no reason why anyone can't know anything.
Yeah, exactly.
And but back when I chose engineering, I remember my dad saying to me, "What's an engineer?" I'm like, "I don't know." He ran away and looked at something, came back, and he said, "Engineers are problem solvers." And I went, "Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
it."
So, and then choosing mining also was a bit of a leap of faith because didn't really know. I had somewhat of an idea, but again, you can't just Google this stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So but I do like learning.
Yeah.
And there's no shortage of things to learn about, that's for sure.
So interesting. And as I mentioned, you have 4 kids, 3 stepchildren.
Yeah.
How do you juggle all of that with the 5 jobs as well?
Well, I mean, so I think what we need to obviously these are all just my personal views. I think we need to remember that kids are really capable.
Yes, yeah.
So me growing up on the Sunshine Coast, I used to catch the bus to school from the age of 5, and my mum used to say, like, "You're only 5." I'm like, "I'm fine, I'm cool." And so I used to catch the bus to school.
I would love to, I can envision you just walking along.
I mean, it was a school bus, but I was getting on there with kids all the way up to year 12, right? I'm in year 1. So I've sort of set things up. Or myself and my other half, he and I have set things up. We've been together 9 years, so that the kids can do stuff themselves. So, catch the bus to school. Like, I'm not going to drive you. It's just there. You missed the bus. Sorry for you. Catch the next one. You're late. Whoop-de-doo.
Get an Uber.
Get over it. Like, get over it. Like, this is life.
Yeah.
We have to make sure that we, so I'm there for them. They know. And when I was growing up, my dad used to be away quite a lot. He'd be away, cutting bits to plant and things like that. But I remember when he was home, he was always present, spending time. And so that's sort of what I do. So I'm not going to beat myself up if I'm not going to be home and the kids need to make their own dinner. Like, they're capable.
Yeah.
And they're fine.
Yeah.
So my eldest so the kids are basically between 16 and 23, and so we've just done it.
Yeah.
And trusting that they are capable.
Yeah.
And giving them that, if they working together. Working together to, my one of my simple rules with my kids has been, you lie to me, you're dead. Like, you spill water on the floor, just go, I spilled, we'll sort it.
Yeah.
But don't go, oh, Johnny or Jane did it. No. Like, that's just so not good. On.
Yeah.
So we can work these things out. And that's sort of been my philosophy with them.
And then that's going to obviously help them so much when they come into adulthood and they know how to cook their own meals and drive a car because, you do see a lot of teenagers these days getting chauffeured around.
Yeah, I mean, and it's also, it's good now too because they're older. They'll go grocery shopping or so we just work as a team basically.
Yeah.
And they're all still at home because kids often don't move out for a while now, and that's fine. Like it's good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Get to come home to a full house, which,
Well,
when-
sometimes if they're there, right, because they're
Yeah.
often out doing something at the gym or
Oh,
with a
so
friend
good.
or at the library or wherever they may be.
Yeah. And are any of them studying or following in your footsteps?
Well, my daughter studied that. So when I say I've got four. I've got one girl, three boys. She studied commerce, and she's working for a marketing agency in Subi.
Oh, cool.
My next one is hoping to join the army,
Nice.
and then my third and fourth are year 12 and year 10. There could be a chance for mining for them,
Yeah.
because they've had a bit of. One in year 12, he went on a site visit through the WA Mining Club actually.
Oh, awesome.
On the school holidays to a
Yeah.
Fortescue site, which was fantastic because seeing it's different. And then my one in year 10, he did work experience at an environmental consultancy called MBS Environmental, which the managing director, Kristie, was grateful enough or was kind enough to give him work experience, and they do a lot in mining, and he loved that. So there's two that could potentially be heading down that path, but we'll see. And then Dave's twin girls, one's gone back to uni, I think, to do occupational therapy. One works in childcare, and then the youngest is in year 10, and we don't know what he will do yet. So there's a chance someone might do something mining related, but we don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And they might, obviously being here in Perth, you're surrounded by it. So they might go off for a little bit and then decide to come back to the industry.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. But before we wrap up today, what advice do we want? What advice would you have given? I'm trying to think about if we're going to direct it to the younger you or to somebody listening.
Well, yeah, that's maybe so what advice would I give to the younger me? I think that's a really tough question because I've always tried to make the best of the situations that I'm in.
Yeah.
One thing that my daughter said to me that she said was good advice is I told her quite early on, not everyone's going to like you. And that's the reality.
Yeah. Especially as a girl. Like,
you just have to carry on.
Yeah.
And having worked, so I spent some time in professional services too. I spent 2 years at EY and almost 2 years at PwC, working in business development, basically helping a lot of the partners there to make money, but also helping clients because they do great work.
Yeah.
But I've seen people, they're interesting places, a lot of egos, a lot of, bubbles of, so it's just interesting because one piece of it, I know I'm jumping around, but one piece of advice that I do give to people is in your bubble, whether that's, a company you're in, outside of that, no one really cares. You can be really important in your sphere, whether it's, at a large mining company, a professional services firm, at a law firm, wherever it is, really important, but outside no one cares. So make sure you stay connected.
Yes.
To what's happening outside, what's happening around you, what's happening in industry.
Yeah.
And stay connected and just carry on because people will try to throw you off course all the time. That's part of it. Not everyone's going to like you. People will think you're full of shit. But you just have to carry on.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, people doing dodgy things often fall down around you and you just have to carry on.
Yeah.
And know that what you do, and be flexible too because, there's that saying, or some people say just say yes to everything. I actually don't agree to that, right? Because it has to be right for you. There's a lot of options out there. There's a lot of possibility and just need to try and make the best decision with the info that you have and not beat yourself up if it's not the right one. Just make a move, make a change.
So good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining me today.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All good, Tegan.